find my way back to you, until you make amends with the demons you've been through, until you find your way back home.
What's up, Hanz family, and welcome to Hanzween. Hanzween is 31 tutorials in the month of October. That means a new single video every day. New single, what? Today's look is going to be kind of this poison ivy inspired tutorial. All product details will be listed down below as always, including my codes and links and everything else you need to know about this video. And let's get to the tutorial. So I already did my foundation because you guys don't need to see that every single tutorial. So now, using this Anastasia Cream Contour Kit and my trusty Morphe G30 brush, I'm going to contour my face. I did want to bring the contour down a little bit around my mouth to give kind of that sunken in feel. And down my jaw because obviously I want as defined jaw as possible, and contouring my boobies. Poison Ivy is one sexy bitch, so we need to have nice sexy boobies, and I am kind of making some weird faces so that I can pop out my collarbones so that I can contour around those as well. Contour above and under them so that they look like they naturally are just popped out. Highlight that center V by your boobs so it really brings the attention to them. And then using this Inglot red liner, we're going to fill in our brows. These Inglot liners are perfect for covering your brow hairs. They are very thick and very, very pigmented and long-lasting. So if you have darker hairs, they will cover them just fine. I'm doing this in just a natural kind of shape and then pointing it a little more towards the tail and then having little wispy hairs towards the front of the brow. Continuing with our sexy lady, I'm using Kat Von D's Outlaw liquid lipstick and just filling in my lips, this nice bright red. These lipsticks are liquid to matte, so they will stay for a very long time. Jeffree Star's Dominatrix is so beautiful, this matte chocolatey brown, so I'm just going to outline my lips and then ombre the brown right into the red. Our Poison Ivy does have a little bit of a kind of fall feel. I wanted her to have the wilting leaves, so I wanted her lips and eyes to kind of have a wilted feel too. If you're wearing this out for Halloween, you gotta prime those eyelids so that eyeshadow stays, and so we're using some NYX eyeshadow base and then using this big Sigma fluffy brush in E35 to just put that all over our eyes. I did one eye already, and then going in with Kat Von D's Monarch palette. This palette is so fucking beautiful. I am going to start using the lightest taupe shade to transition from my crease into my skin color on top. There's a beautiful aged orange color in that palette, so I'm just putting that on my outer V and then blending it out into that taupe color we first put down. Makeup Geek has these wonderful foiled eyeshadows. I've used them in a few tutorials before, if you guys have seen. And I wanted to use this amazing olive color, and I'm wetting my brush just a little bit and then patting that all over my eyelid. If you wet these eyeshadows, they become super, super bright and intense. Use a very small brush for this part. I'm using an E37 by Morphe, and I'm just putting the matte chocolate brown from that palette right up against the green and blending it into the orange. Really take your time blending so you have it nice and seamless so it just looks beautiful. Using Tarteist Clay Liner, my new favorite liner right meow, I'm going to just put a little flick of eyeliner on the top of my lid. These are Velour Lashes Doll Me Up. I've worn them a couple times, as you can see, so I'm going to pop those on my eyes, and then I'm going to use a little bit of Makeup Geek's Afterglow Loose Pigment to highlight. This is a very kind of nice pale gold champagne color, and so I'm just putting that on my cheekbones, on my nose, and my chin. I love NARS blushes, they're beautiful. So this is Taos, which is perfect because I am from New Mexico. And I am just going to put that all over the apples of my cheeks. For this portion of the chest, I'm going to show you guys how I drew these out. I was looking at a reference picture at first just to see the kind of leaves I wanted to do, and then I just kind of went from there. I knew that I was going to make these all wilted and messed up anyways, so this is just going to be a general outline. Fill these in with different colors of body paint. I'm using all Mayron paints, and I'm kind of mixing light green, Amazon green, and a little bit of yellow. I wanted the leaves to be different colors just so that they would really pop out from each other. I don't want them all to look the exact same. especially because they are starting to wilt and have little holes and nasty pieces sticking out of them. I wanted to have lots of different variations of shades. Makeup Geek has come out with a few new matte shades, and this is Enchanted Forest. You guys know how much I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and this one is beautiful, a dark forest green. I just want to create the veins and the leaves and then use Makeup Geek's High Tea eyeshadow to just start adding shading to them all over the veins and all around the leaf. Basically what we're trying to create is a very crinkled looking leaf. Like I've said before in other tutorials, your best bet I would say is to look at a reference picture. At this point I was just kind of going off of what I thought this leaf would look like if it was crinkled and had holes in it and was starting to wilt. You want these veins to be placed in such a way that there's one large main one going up the middle of the leaf and then a few smaller ones branching out to the other sides. Since this leaf is starting to kind of wilt, get crinkly, get aged, you know, maybe shit, it fell on the fucking bottom of the floor, and so Poison Ivy, she just grabbed it and was like, yep, this works. So try to picture what it would look like if it had all of these little rotting holes. It would have shadow all around every single hole and around most of the edges, especially where the edges do curve inwards. Just like I said in my clown tutorial, if you guys did watch that, with the ruffles, it's the same exact thing. When those edges do curve downwards, there would be a shadow because the high point of the light would be hitting the leaf and the high points of the leaves would be lit up. The points that curve downwards would have shadow underneath. Using a little bit of Fawn contour shade from Anastasia, I couldn't find Mocha for Makeup Geek. I am pretty heartbroken because you guys know that is my shading color. I am going to start shading the outsides of the leaves and inside the little holes. I'm also mixing a little bit of a dark brown from that Kat Von D Monarch palette we used earlier just to intensify the shadows towards the top of those little holes, since the leaf having a hole inside of it would cast the shadow from the leaf onto the skin at the very top. Use that dark brown shadow to add a few more little holes here and there. Not all of the holes have to actually be holes showing your skin. They can just have little black marks on the leaf. When leaves start to kind of age and deteriorate, they start to look kind of grimy and gross. And just go ham on the shading from the leaf onto your skin because we want that to look as real as possible. Like that leaf is really glued somehow to our skin and popping off of it. So keep mixing between the Anastasia Fawn shade, or Mocha, which is for Makeup Geek, which I would suggest, and a little bit of a darker brown shade. This can be a long process, but very well worth the time put into the leaves. Using a little bit of that lightest color I had in the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit, I am going to highlight a few portions of the leaves, going in between a few of the veins, and focusing on the top of each hole that's inside the leaf. Since the leaf would be lifting up because there's a little bit of a hole into it, it would have that lifted edge because it's crinkling. We want to put a little bit of a highlight on top of that. I chose not to go in with bright white because I felt white was way too intense of a highlight onto the screen. For the rest of the leaves, I did decide to just speed through it really fast. I wanted to give you guys a general idea of kind of what I was doing for the other leaves, but since I did teach you the whole techniques for one leaf, I didn't really see the point in teaching you all of them and having you guys have to sit through all of these leaves. And voila! I'm going to intensify my little beauty mark I have there with a little bit of that Tartist clay liner, and then using a mix of black and Amazon green paint from Mayron, I'm going to draw on a few little freckles. I'm putting these on pretty sporadically, but I do want a general kind of controlled chaos to them. I want them very focused around the nose and kind of cascading down onto the cheekbones. I popped in some contacts. These are from Camo Eyes. They are amazing. And now our Poison Ivy is all done. We're ready to go poison some bitches with our love. I hope you guys liked this version and enjoyed this video. This was actually my second time in one night trying to get the leaves decent to how I kind of wanted them. If you do recreate this for Halloween or even before, please use the hashtag Hanzoween so I can see it, and I will just see you guys tomorrow.